What's going on, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I'm just an American guy on a journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Today, we're going to be reacting to the British West Country accent. I've heard of the West Country accent, but I don't really know what it sounds like. I think I have heard a few phrases in the West Country accent in one of the previous accent videos I did about the UK, but I can't really recall what it sounds like. But anyways, these videos, I've actually got a couple of videos I'm going to react to here about the West Country accent. And these videos were actually recommended to me by a subscriber that is from the West Country and has this accent. So I thought it would be a really interesting accent to kind of dive in and kind of learn about on a little bit of a deeper level. From what I understand, the West Country accent is one of the more harder to understand accents from people that are from outside of that area. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what I've heard. But yeah, guys, I really don't know what to expect here. I think this first video is basically going to be about some people in the West Country having conversations, so we can kind of hear how they sound when they're just talking amongst each other. And then the second video is going to kind of actually explain what some of the more common phrases are, in the West Country and what they mean to people from outside of that area. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and check out the British West Country accent.
No.
Oh, Harold were a funny bugger, man.
I know you were a very funny bloke. Oh, yes. Yeah.
I got on with old Frank. Like,
Harold always had Frank to do his meals, didn't he?
Harold will make a cup
No,
of tea.
he'll make a cup of
He'll
tea.
make a bloody cup
Oh,
of
no,
tea. No, he bloody wouldn't.
Oh, no, he told Frank
He
to
were
do that.
lazy, son.
Let's have a cup of tea, Frank.
He's like he said. He told him more than what I did, like, because he's lived out better. He didn't get bloody lot away, boy.
No. They weren't going to anyway. They weren't going to, Mark.
Well, the cherry plums, I always remember the.
Oh, yes.
There were old Dr. Pip or Dr. Flip or what, I don't know what bloody name was.
Yeah.
Lived up somewhere or other. Well, as he cherry pub, they call it, and they said to Dr. Flip.
Oh, Trip.
Oh, Trip.
Or he's Penner there.
Ah.
I know him.
And they say, what can we, I'll come down and
This reminds me a little bit of a certain type of Appalachia accent. I've spent quite a bit of time in Appalachia, and it's not completely, but it's one of those accents that if you're not from the area, you definitely have a hard time understanding some of the things they're saying. I'm picking up on some of the stuff, but this is definitely an interesting accent. It's one of those accents that are fairly hard to understand.
get him, we make him up in the wine.
That's right. That's
He
right.
didn't waste him, so.
No way. No way. No. Oh, no.
Very funny people.
Yeah. There you go.
But what good did it do?
No good at all.
I've got this theory in life that no good getting into bed cold to get warm. You're going to be warm when you get in. You take the warmth in with you, you know. You either go for a long walk or you stand by a fire, get hot and go.
Okay, so I don't know, are all three of those people, the two we saw at first and that man right there, are they all speaking in a West Country accent? Because I understand the second or this third man here much better than I understand the first two. The first two I had a very hard time understanding. This man, I actually understand everything he's saying, so I'm not really sure. Is everybody here speaking the West Country accent, or is this somebody from somewhere else?
Go in. Take the cold with you. It'll stop there all night.
Okay.
Take a bit of warmth with you. Or to push, you get a house brick and heat it up in the oven, wrap it in a cloth and shove that in. It's better than any water bottle.
Okay, I take that back. There's definitely quite a few words that I'm not understanding what he's saying there. This is so interesting. It's so interesting how you can go you know, just a little ways down the road, from what I understand in the UK, especially, you can literally drive 5-10 miles down the road or something like that, and the accents will be completely different. And you're going to have a hard time understanding people from different areas because they're going to speak, their dialects are going to be different and the accents themselves are going to be different. But this is a really interesting accent, and I definitely can tell they're speaking certain phrases that I've never heard before. Even though I can understand some of the words they're saying in those phrases, I can't understand what they're meaning by those phrases. Man, this is really interesting. Okay, let's continue.
1, 2, 3, 4 blankets, 6 duvets, and you put them in layers, and I've told him how cold it is which layer you get under. You see? And then you...
I have no idea what he's saying. I have no clue. And it's so interesting that there are going to be people that are watching this that know exactly what he's saying. And then there's going to be other people that are watching this that are not going to have a clue what he's saying. It's so interesting how we understand the way people speak from the areas we're from. Even though I feel like my accent, you know, I feel like you can understand the words that I'm saying, you know, even though I have a fairly deep Southern accent. Like, you know, I'm from the South, so you definitely can hear that accent within my voice. But I feel like you probably understand the words themselves that I'm speaking. But even though you understand the words I'm speaking, there's probably phrases that the people that I grew up with say that people from the UK, for example, may not even know what I'm saying when I'm saying those certain phrases. And I'm catching a lot of that here.
You make a mistake and get under number 3 and start sweating, you have to climb out and get under number 1, you know. I'll leave the top door open most nights.
Okay, he's talking about, okay.
Anyway, then there was another lad in the village. There was a nice apple orchard. Kids used to go in and pinch apples, see? But the missus always put her basket out and filled up with apples for the kids. But they wasn't satisfied with that. They had to go to the orchard and get them, didn't they? So her policeman or CD always said, Mrs. You leave it to me. Die quiet, he said, but keep your eye open, all right? So when the kids come out of school, down they go and colour these your apples, see? So the next day, he goes down and he puts a little nice bit of rope, but they couldn't see it. But down the bottom of the orchard was a gap, and there was a stug out the other side. Watery stug and water and mud. A stug, that was. He said, he never said no. Anyway, when it got like all they coming out of school, 4 o'clock, he got down to the field and watched them. See them coming in there, they was in there, our apples. He walks in. Of course, they got no other way, they couldn't go back. They goes down out the gap, trips their feet, and they went in the stuff. In the stuff, he blowed his whistle. That gave the woman know that, what's her, come out. Oh, the poor kids, they was mud all over. Yeah, they never had no more apples pinched. They took them from up outside the door. Yeah.
I understood he was talking about apples and an orchard and kids getting apples from the orchard, but outside of that, I have no idea what he was saying. But it was funny because I could tell it was funny and I could feel the energy of it was funny, but I don't really know what they were saying. Man, this is so cool, man. I would love to go to this. I will go to this area. I do not know where the West Country is considered to be exactly in England. I think it's kind of more, in my head, I picture it being kind of more to the northwest, kind of towards Scotland a little bit, but I could be wrong on that. Is this more of kind of in a mountainous area, more elevation? Because I definitely, this, like I said, it sounds a little bit, I mean, it's completely different, but the only thing I have to compare it with in America at all would be similar to the Appalachia accent, which is a mountainous accent. So that's interesting, man.
But the condos, if they had somebody come in that they wanted to stop,
Yeah,
They
they bring
put-
in one.
they bring in
Yeah.
a condo with that out. But if they had somebody or they thought somebody would come in there and they
Yeah.
didn't want, they stopped it. They bring
That's
in a
right.
big condo like
That's
that.
right. So we,
So you go out. But I won't say for old Frank. I was in old Frank with a pair of trousers on. They didn't stand up right if he took them off. But he did used to wash them sometimes.
yeah,
But mind you, he didn't wash them before he could take them off and they stand up right. Well, Harold is to stand up right anytime.
they were
But he
stiff.
didn't take his off.
They were stiff. Had all this muck over them.
Oh. But Frank eventually did wash
Yes,
his.
yeah.
But Harold,
No,
and then when he had that minor 20, he went on for 12 months.
yeah,
Oh, they were black. Well, they were black shot.
I know.
And then one day, I did go out there, or one night. Hello, Harp. Hello, Mr. Goldbeer.
Yeah,
Hey, what's on that? Hey, what's on that? Frank brought me back a new pair of trousers.
yes, we are.
Oh, they're smart now. Yeah. Hey, man, right them. They've a bit big round here, but they've
One
all
of these
right.
bloody shops where they give it away, wasn't it?
Red Cross shop.
Yeah.
There's no life in
These older men seem to be, they're like the type of men that I would meet at the barber shop or outside of the convenience store. They'll just talk and talk and talk. I always love to sit around and listen to these older gentlemen talk back where I'm from. They would just talk all day. They just have the most amazing stories. These people that are, some people up in their 90s or even up close to 100 years old. It's amazing the life they lived. And I feel like I would get this vibe from them, or I'm getting this vibe from them, to where they would just have the most amazing stories to share with you. You can just, I don't know, the conversations would be really interesting to sit down and listen to, especially once you kind of understood what they're saying. Anyways.
anymore for anyone. It's all gadgets and computers and things, and chucking things up in the sky so people could, press buttons on things and that, and mobile phones. You've got to have you have people, youngsters come in and tell, I can't live without my phone, I can't live without a computer. Of course they can. You need the air to breathe, don't you, and food to eat, to live. But that's the way they're brought up, I suppose, nowadays. Makes it easier for parents, I suppose, if they're sitting upstairs playing with a machine. I don't know. I don't really want to know.
I'll bet you got.
This is interesting. I kind of touched on this a few minutes back, but I understand. I think most of what this man is saying. I have a much harder time with the other two people that are speaking. This man, though, for some reason, I think he has a West Country accent, but I don't understand the difference here and why I understand him better than the other two. What is it about? Well, the other two do seem older than him, I think. Maybe there's something to do with that. Maybe as people have gotten younger in the West Country, they sound a little bit different. I don't know. Although he's obviously not a young man, but he seems a little younger than the other two. But what is that? Why am I understanding him so much better than the other two? And I'm still having issues understanding everything he's saying. But I think I'm understanding about 60 to 70% of what he's saying. The other two, I'm probably only understanding maybe 30 or 40%, if that. But this man basically was just talking about how he's not a big fan of the way technology has changed the world, and especially the direction young people have taken technology. And it made me think of when he was saying about putting the kids up in front of the technology. That's something that me and my wife both agree. We do not let our daughter, she's 4 years old. You know, she does not have a tablet or anything like that. We definitely supervise everything she watches. She gets limited TV time, limited time with YouTube videos or something playing, and we have to know what it is because it's crazy what will all of a sudden pop up on YouTube for these kids. You'll put it on something you think is completely just a nice song or something for kids, and eventually, if you let it play out long enough, it can be something really that you don't want your kids seeing. So it's definitely something to be careful for. That's not really about this video, but it just reminded me of that you definitely need to be careful with the technology with younger kids. And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, aren't being as careful with their young kids, with the technology and what's playing on these videos. They should be, in my opinion, at least. But anyways, guys, let's continue.
Guarantee. You sees me running about with more with me. Thumbs me trousers tied me cord. Do you know it, yeah. But do you know what happened? I had a rat when I was driving. Me right hand side, he went to licking me trousers. And he went up with his back towards me leg. And he got up there. And I caught him. And I was like this. They said, what the hell's the matter with you? I said, you wait and see. And I went, and I shook at the rat, deed. And since then I've always tied the bottoms of me trousers. Not if I'm dressing, I do it. Normally it's what I call it.
Okay, I'm going to try to guess what he just said because I really didn't understand most of it, but I think he was saying something about a rat crawled up his pant leg and ended up all the way to the top or something. And then he got it out of there, and then he stepped on it. I don't know what that's. And then he started tying his pants after that at the bottom or something. Is that what he was saying? I don't really know. That's what I got from that anyway.
Yeah. I had he talking about a rat.
A rat, okay.
I've done a fair bit of striking in me days. Because you get all loose stuff around your legs in the standing pit to feed the machine. All there was, I had to put my hand up here. What the? I thought we were slicing barley. I thought it was a barley house tickling, just inside me short collar. I'd go like that. Turn very long board, it was up there again. So I said to me mate that was turning sheaves, I undone me short buttons here. I said, put your hand in here and see what the house inside here. He didn't turn it a rot, man. There's a running mouse. I got a mouse up there. He inside my short collar.
Is he saying there's a mouse up in his shirt?
His one hand was a big smile too. He put his hand in and grabbed over the mouse. But that was the only thing I ever had crawl onto me that I knew by. One mouse. And there were times they were stripping the ricks. They would thatch the ricks in. Then we'd have to strip the ricks before she started striking. And I'd see rats come off of one rick, roll across it, t'other, right out over. Oh, it was rats back in the days. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. You cut pigs, you'd always have plenty of rats. Yeah.
All right, I think that video is done. That was really interesting. I would definitely like to, I don't know, see a TV show or hear some music and things like that in this accent. I kind of want to I even want to dive deeper into this because it really is a very interesting accent. It's an accent that is similar to the Appalachia accent, not at all exactly like it. I'm not saying they're worlds apart, but it's sort of similar in some ways. But anyways, guys, we're going to go and check out a second video now. All right, guys, so now we're going to check out the West Country accent on a little bit deeper level. We're going to kind of look at some of the phrases that are used in that area and see what they mean. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Now, the West Country accent is wonderful, and there are certain phrases that you would only hear from someone in the West Country. For example,
all right, my lover.
Hello, mate.
Wait, all right, my lover means hello, mate, hello? Okay. Never heard of that.
Gert Lush.
Gert Lush? Gert Lush. I have no idea what that would mean. Gert Lush.
Very good.
Oh, very good. Okay.
RKE.
Listen to him.
He.
In any case,
Anyway,
Okay. In any case, we use that phrase. Skew with. Don't know that one.
skew if.
Skew with.
crooked.
Crooked.
Where be to?
Where are you going?
Chucky Pig.
Woodlouse.
Chucky Pig.
Now, as you've probably gathered, the West Country accent is lovely. It's a very fun accent, isn't it, Tom? But some people will associate the West Country accent with farmers, which is bizarre, but I think that potentially comes from the BBC radio programme The Archers, and what was the other drama you were mentioning?
Poldark.
Poldark, which is a drama all about farmers,
That's true, yeah.
and they have this West Country accent. But you have to be aware that just because someone has this accent, it doesn't automatically mean they're a farmer
Well-
or from a farming family.
Obviously.
So let's look at some of the common features of the West Country accent now.
But to me, like I said earlier, if you were to ask me without me knowing, I think they're from a more elevated area, a mountainous area, because it does remind me somewhat, like I said, of the Appalachia accent a little bit. It's the only accent I can even remotely compare it to in America, and even then, it's still far off. They're far off from each other. But yeah. Anyways,
So we're going to start off with a rhotic R. As you probably know from some of my other videos, a standard British English accent doesn't have a rhotic R. We only pronounce the R if it's at the beginning of a word or if it follows something like a TH. But when you're speaking with a West Country accent, we do pronounce the R. So for example, if we were to say the following words: farm,
Farm.
farm. Interesting. Okay.
so I do a long vowel
Farm.
R, but Tom did R and
Farm.
made the R rhotic. So let's
That's interesting. It almost, not an American accent, but it almost was like when he said farm, it was almost closer to an American accent than to her British accent, whatever accent she's speaking with. That's interesting.
hear that again. Farm.
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 I'm
Farm.
going down to the farm.
Like if I was going to say that, I'm going to go down to the farm.
I'm going down to the farm.
Warm.
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 Warm. Okay, again, my accent sounds more like his. That's interesting. Okay.
Quite warm today.
It's quite warm today.
Warm. It's quite warm today.
Lover.
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 Now
Yep.
you notice at the end of the word lover, I'm doing the schwa ending, which we would normally do for an ER ending, but Tom is curling into the R.
Lover.
So, lover.
Lover.
Lover. Yeah.
Lovely, isn't it? He is my lover.
He is my lover.
Is he really?
He's not.
Mm.
Okay, and the final word we're going to look at is first.
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 So you'll notice I'm doing
It's interesting.
nice and open, and Tom does
First.
Okay, so what I want to understand, this is the question I have. So obviously there's many accents in the UK and Ireland, correct? I mean, I've heard about, I don't know, 20 or 30 of them maybe, but I'm sure there's a lot more than that even. But do most of the accents, if you had to pick which direction they go for like UK accents, are more of the accents towards the way she speaks, or are more of the accents in the direction of the way he speaks in the West Country accent? Because something I notice here, every single word they just practiced. His accent is more towards my accent than her accent in a lot of ways. I said those words the exact same way he would say those words, which That's surprising to me. It's not something I thought would be the case, but that's interesting.
There we go.
First.
I come first.
I come first.
I come
So
first.
the next common feature we're going to look at is the I diphthong. In the West Country accent, this is more like oi. It's more rounded with the or vowel rather than the ah vowel at the beginning. So in Standard British English, we have I, but in West Country, we have
I.
oi. Okay, so let's look at this in action.
Okay.
So we'll use the words guide,
Guide.
Guide.
Guide. Guide.
guide,
Guide.
guide
Okay.
me home,
Guide me home.
Guide.
white,
White.
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 Is it going to be a white Christmas?
Is it going to be a white Christmas?
It's going to be a white Christmas.
Life,
Life.
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 I'll give him the kiss of life.
I'll give him the kiss of life.
I'll give him the kiss of life.
Who is this man?
I don't know.
Who is this man?
The next feature is the NG sound, only when we have an ing ending. So, for example, I would say walking,
Walking.
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 I'm out walking with my dog.
I'm out walking with my dog.
I'm out walking with my dog. I'm out walking with my dog. I'm trying to place where my own accent is comparatively to how they're sounding. And I don't know, it's really interesting. This is so interesting to me.
You'll notice that Tom is doing an IN ending, meaning he's using the tip of the tongue high up on the alveolar ridge, closing it at the front, in, whereas I use the back of the tongue high, closing it off at the back, ing. So let's try that again. Walking.
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 There we go. We could also say talking.
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 I was talking to my mother.
I was talking to my mother.
To my mother.
That's interesting. I was talking to my mother. So she adds the ing she almost adds the G at the end, and his accent ends at the end there. Walking, talking. Talking. I think I said talking. Talking. I don't think I'd ever do talking. I don't know. That's interesting. Okay. Anyway.
Another feature of the West Country accent is the vowel. So, for example, I would say up,
Up.
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 So you'll notice Tom is making more of an sound, whereas mine's more open and light. It. Let's have a look at some other words.
Up.
Above,
Above.
Above.
above,
Above.
Above.
up and above.
Up and above.
Up and above.
Love,
Love.
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 I love it up and above.
I love it up and above.
I love.
It's such a great accent. The final feature we're going to look at today is the West Country accent relationship with plosives, particularly the T sound. So when a T appears at the end of a word in West Country, they generally omit it. So for example, I would say this and that.
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 This and that. This and that. This and that.
Also, when a T is in the middle of a word, mostly when it starts the final syllable, it becomes a glottalized T. So, for example, in the word water,
Water.
Water. I say water. Water. Yeah.
water,
Water.
Water.
or butter,
Butter.
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 And finally, better,
Better.
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 That butter is better.
That butter is better.
That butter is better.
So there you have it, 5 simple features and a handful of phrases to help you get along if you're ever speaking to someone from the West Country. So all that remains to say is thank you very much, Tom, for coming along.
Ta-da, loves.
Don't forget.
That was cool. I really enjoyed learning about that. It's such an interesting accent. And I think something that really surprised me here at the end was that my own accent, I speak a lot of the words more in a similar manner that he does. And I just find that really interesting. Obviously, I don't have a West Country accent, but the way they speak is it's more similar to the way I speak than the way she speaks, based off of what I heard here, which I didn't think would be the case. But anyways, this was interesting, and I definitely want to dive deeper into other accents as well. I'd like to dive deeper into this accent. I found this accent absolutely fascinating, and it seems to be a very, very unique accent for the UK from what I've heard so far. I know there's so many, but where is this located exactly? Is it in a mountainous or kind of more of an elevated area of the UK? And what other accents should I look up next? I mean, what other accents should I go in depth on to kind of explore? But anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow me in my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys, peace.